Your logo is the face of your brand. It's what people recognize first, what they remember, and what instantly communicates about your business and what it's about. So a great logo isn't just a random icon or some trendy design. It's your strategic asset that builds recognition, conveys credibility, and makes a lasting impression. And so think about the logos you instantly recognize. Apple, Nike, Google, Airbnb, Tesla. Each one is simple, memorable, and timeless. But what makes a great logo? What should yours look like? And how do you create something that truly represents your brand? In this lesson, I'm going to walk you through how to create a custom logo that makes an impact, whether you're designing it yourself or working with a designer. And so by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to craft a logo that stands out in the market and builds long-term brand recognition. The first step in creating your logo is understanding what it should represent. Your logo should visually reflect your brand's personality, values, and target audience. If your brand is bold and disruptive, your logo should feel strong and energetic. If it's luxury and high-end, your logo should exude elegance and minimalism. If it's fun and playful, your logo should have dynamic shapes and vibrant colors. Every design choice, so from the font to the icon, especially to the color scheme, tells a story about who you are. And so before you even start designing, ask yourself, what emotions do I want people to feel when they see my logo? What message should it instantly communicate? What makes my brand unique? And so now, let's break down the different types of logos. There are wordmark logos, lettermark logos, icon-based logos, combination logos, and emblem logos. So wordmark logos are logos that are just the brand name in a custom font, Google, Coca-Cola, Disney. They work well when your brand name is short, unique, and easy to recognize. If you're building a tech startup or lifestyle brand, a wordmark logo can be a great way to build name recognition. Then there's the lettermark logo, which is an abbreviation of the brand's initials. Think IBM, HBO, CNN. This is ideal if you have a long brand name and want to have something compact and versatile. Next, we have icon-based logos, which are standalone symbols that represent the brand, like Apple, Twitter, or Nike. Basically, the swoosh of Nike is what I'm speaking of. But these logos are powerful because they are instantly recognizable, and they only work if you establish strong brand awareness first. That's why most companies start with a combination logo before transitioning to a standalone icon. Combination logos, which include both text and an icon, are the most versatile, especially used by brands like Airbnb, Spotify, and Adidas. They allow flexibility. Sometimes you can use just the icon, other times just the text. Finally, emblem logos are enclosed designs, often used by heritage brands, schools, and government institutions. Think Harley-Davidson, Starbucks, or the NFL. Which one should you choose though? If you're launching a new app or business, a combination logo is usually the best choice. It gives you the flexibility of both a wordmark and an icon while building your brand recognition. As your company grows, you can simplify your branding over time, just like how Airbnb went from a full wordmark to a recognizable symbol, or how Nike eventually dropped the text and kept only the swoosh. So now let's talk about font selection. Fonts convey personality, and the wrong font can completely change how your brand is perceived. For example, like the ones used by Tiffany & Co., Vogue, and Time Magazine feel elegant and authoritative and timeless. If you want your brand to feel premium, high-end, or classic, this could be a great choice. Fonts, like the ones used by Google, Spotify, and Airbnb, feel modern, clean, and approachable. Perfect for startups, tech companies, and lifestyle brands. Then you have handwritten or script fonts. So those are fonts like Disney or Instagram, which feel personal, creative, and unique. If your brand is about art, individuality, or storytelling, this might be the right fit. But be careful. Overly decorative fonts can be hard to read and might not scale well across different platforms. The best logos keep fonts clean, legible, and timeless. And now next, let's talk about logo simplicity and scalability. A mistake many founders make is overcomplicating their logo with too many details, colors, or effects. The best logos are actually very simple enough to be recognized at a glance and scalable across all sizes. So from a massive billboard to a tiny app icon, if your logo doesn't look good in black and white, or if it's too complex to be legible when scaled down, it won't work in the real world. Think about the Nike swoosh, Apple's apple, or Twitter's bird, or Now X is X. They're minimalist, timeless, and instantly recognizable. If your logo needs shadows, gradients, or intricate details to look good, it's too complicated. Simplify it. Let's also talk about color psychology and logo design. Your logo's colors should align with your brand identity. So we've already discussed how different colors evoke different emotions. But here's a quick refresher. Red is bold and high energy. Blue builds trust. Green represents growth and balance. Yellow creates happiness. Black and white feel premium and sophisticated. So remember that? Choose one or two colors max. Logos with too many colors look messy and lose impact. Look at the most iconic brands. McDonald's, red and yellow. Apple's black and white. Facebook's blue and white. Starbucks green. All of them use minimal, memorable color schemes. And so now let's get into designing your logo. You can hire a professional designer using tools like Canva, Luca, or Adobe Illustrator, or work with a branding agency. You can do it yourself. If you're working with a designer though, make sure they provide your logo in multiple file formats, including vector files, basically SVG, EPS for scalability, and PNG files for web and JPEG or JPGs. You want to have all the different file types available. You'll also need a version that works in black and white, as well as a transparent background version for flexibility. Another thing to consider is your logo variations. Your primary logo might be horizontal, but what about your social media profile icon or the fav icon? That's basically the little icon at your web browser at the top. You should have different formats for different placements. So look at Instagram, Netflix, or TikTok. Their app icons are simplified versions of their logos. If your primary logo is long, make sure you have a stacked or compact version for smaller spaces. And so now, let's also talk about logo trademarking and ownership. If you hire a designer or agency, make sure you have full rights to your logo. You don't want to run into legal issues later. Consider trademarking your logo if you plan to scale your business to prevent copycats. Owning the trademark gives you legal protection in the long run. And if ever you're looking for investors, love that you did this already. So now, here's what you need to do next. Look at your logo and ask yourself, does it represent my brand's personality? Is it simple? Is it memorable? And is it scalable? Does it work across all digital and print applications? Do the colors and fonts align with my brand identity? If not, refine it. Make sure your logo is something that will stand the test of time and won't feel outdated in a couple of years. Run an A/B test with different versions and get feedback from your target audience. A great logo will help your business gain an instant recognition, build credibility, and create a lasting impact. And so now, I'm going to take you over to my computer and walk you through how to build your logo for cheap and get it done in 24 hours or less for less than 20 USD, meaning $20. And yeah, we're going to do a lot of cool stuff. See you in a bit. So if you go on the App MVP Bootcamp in the helpful links or discount links, you'll find this link that I'm highlighting right now. Just like this, you can get to that, copy and paste that in your browser, and you will then be redirected to the Fiverr logo maker. All right, we have where we can get our little logos made. And so what's really cool is that in order to start off, we put our brand name. So I'm just gonna put app. Yeah. All right. Industry, smartphone. Okay, next. I think for this brand, it should be, yeah, let's make it geometric. So I want it to be accessible, pretty modern, traditional. Nah, I want it innovative, somewhat serious, and pretty simple. Let's go. Let's create this and see what it looks like. All right, so we have all these different, ooh, I like this one. This one looks not too bad. All these different types of brand logo variations that came up. And what's cool is that you can find some that you actually like and then just go with it or use it as inspiration for when you actually want your logo made. So let's say, for example, I would really like this one. No, I actually like this one the most. We can see all the different variations with color schemes that it proposes. And if we really want to go through with it, we can then buy and then download this. So if I click buy and download, they're selling it for $30. But what I recommend you do is, especially since we would need these different file sources here, SVG, PNG, brand style guide, I really like having the capacity to have all these things. And so what I will recommend you do is that we take this logo that we really like. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this whole thing. There you go. And then I'll just go now the actual Fiverr platform. And then from here, just search logo creator. And then I'm going to find the cheapest one. Yep, because we already have technically an idea of what we want. So $5, apply budget. So here we go. We have our budget in and how much we're trying to actually get it for. So you can definitely negotiate. Let's say $20 is the max for your official logo. But yeah, I would just say try to use this as an example, and there you go. We can see all these different types of people that are proposing logos. Just take whatever you want, whatever you actually created yourself first. You can even go on Canva and create one there with their templates. And then once you need all the different file types, you can then send it to a designer and say, hey, I would need all these different file types for my logo. And from there, you can get your logo for pretty cheap. And trust me, logos should not cost hundreds of dollars unless you really want to spend that type of money on that. But in general, you can get a really good logo for fairly cheap. Don't waste too much time on it, guys. I would say 24 hours, 48 hours max on that, and then you move on. You decide on one, and then you just move on, because otherwise you're just going to get stuck on this, and it is not worth your time. So see you later in the next lesson. Peace.